In this video, we're going to take a look at how to use your flight members to attack a company of tanks with air defenses. The first thing we'll do is put them in formation. To do so, we'll select a UHF radio and select flight, and then formation, and then finger 4. Pressing the DCS switch long to the left, I'll go ahead and set my speed of broadcast to my wingmen so I can send them targets. To best task your wingmen, you'll definitely want to be using your targeting pod to locate targets, designate it, and then send it over to your wingmen via the data link. Looks like we have an SA-9 SAM system here, so I'm going to use myself and my wingmen to take care of the air defenses and then have my second element orbit back here. To do so, I'll go ahead and select my UHF and then second element, navigation, and then anchor here. I'm now going to set the SA-9 as my SPI so I can send this to my wingmen to attack. So I'll select the UHF, wingmen, engage with, air defenses, with missile from default. My wingman will now attack air defenses near the SPI according to the target priority. SAM systems will come first and then AAA. Once we clear out the air defenses, I'll call in the second element to help with the tanks. And now select my Maverick in preparation for my attack. The M symbols on the radar warning receiver and the audio tones are from the missile warning system that's detecting my wingman launching Mavericks. With the SA-9 dead, I'm going to go ahead and slew the targeting pod onto the Zeus I spotted earlier. I'll now roll to the left a little bit so I can give the targeting pod a good look at it and remove the mask and set that as my SPI. Now I'll go ahead and make my Maverick active, zoom in, and roll on in. When dealing with air defense systems, it's best to use standoff range, so you should be using your Mavericks.
Pull up, pull up.
Once a wingman is used at all the directed weapon, he will automatically rejoin you. Bringing my nose to the target, I'll slave the Maverick to the SPI, and then manually lock the target. Rifle. As I'm coming off the target, I'll switch my right mmcd back to the targeting pod so I can confirm whether or not the Maverick hit. I'll use this time to also select my second Maverick. With that Zeus dead, there's still a fourth air defense system out there lurking. Let's go ahead and look for it. And I can see 3 tanks here, and probably behind it are my air defense vehicles. So there's the burning SA-9, and that's probably the remaining Zeus. Yep. I'll roll into the target now to give my targeting pod a good look at the target. It's important that the targeting pod not be masked, indicated by an M on the HUD and the TGP display. With a good look now, I'll set as my area, then point, and set this as my SPI. Now I'll select my Maverick, zoom in, and then slave the Maverick to the SPI and rifle. As before, when coming off the target, I'll set the right mmcd to the targeting pod so I can see whether or not the Maverick hit. At this point, all the air defense systems in the area should be dead, so I can now start designating targets for my wingman to start hitting. I'll first designate this tank as my SPI for my wingman. I can now select the UHF radio and select wingman, engage with, armor, with unguided bombs, default. When default is selected, the wingman will fly its most direct route to the target. My wingman will now attack armor in the area around the SPI with cluster bombs. I'm now setting my SPI to the waypoint on the east side of the city so I can slew my targeting pod there and look for targets for my second element. I've now made this tank on the east side of the town my SPI. Now I can bring it to my second element for engage with, armor, with missiles from default. My second element will now attack with a total of 4 Mavericks. Two will now rejoin with me now that it's dropped both of its cluster bombs. After each wingman expends its Mavericks, it rejoins with me automatically. Using the targeting pod, I'll use it to search the center of the town for any remaining targets. I found a remaining tank, and I'll set this as my SPI. As I run in for my attack, I'll have my second element attack the area with cluster bombs. So, I'll press the UHF radio, select second element, engage with, ground targets, unguided bombs at default. I now align the CCRP reticle with the ASL and wait for the solution queue to fall through and hit the pipper, and holding down the weapon release button, the CBU comes off automatically. I now do a clearing left-hand turn to give the targeting pod a good look at the target. A lot of dead tanks down there. With all targets destroyed, we'll join up now and exit the area. I hope you found this video useful as an example of how you can use your flight to destroy defended targets.